Good evening, good afternoon, whoever you are in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene will be taking place on the outskirts of the Castle Levate, the famed home of Count Tintagel Flickerflame ap Dougal, which is currently resting in the just outside the Chimerical Forest, about 2 or 3 miles outside the Changeling Market. There is apparently a posse.
Yes, there has apparently been a party. Karina is surprised to hear that Tintagel's throwing a party. Either way, the text will go out to Kincaid to go ahead and bring him along. Karina just assumes that Zeke knows about this party because Tintagel threw the party. Therefore, Zeke had to help in the planning.
Okay, the castle itself. Kim, how many random commoners have shown up to this?
So far? You got about 20.
Oh, shit.
You said party.
Okay.
They heard party and they came. They're also expecting a lot of food.
Okay. The doors stand open on their black wood hinges. You hear the kind of a ticking noise that's ever present, regardless of where you are in the castle. So the doors are open.
Yeah, so Karina, at the very least, she rolls on in. She did not come here armed because it's a party. So yeah, the only thing she has is probably just like her most basic of basic knives. Because who leaves home without at least a fucking knife as a changeling?
Okay, as you enter the main hall itself, you're probably surprised and struck by the awe of the building, in the sense that it is all colonnades and high ceilings with beautiful statuary carved into every surface, the walls, the ceiling, etc., showing she faces in the height of their nobility. You can guess maybe Tintagel's ancestors or incarnations, as long with female she of an equally stunning and beautiful variety. There are a number of large doors that lead off this building. There's one to the left, one to the right, and then there is a sweeping staircase that leads up the center that connects at the top, and then there's another series of doors, one left, one right, and one in the center. However, the door you get the distinct impression that if there's a party is to go through is underneath that, in the center of the two prongs of the stairs, there is the door to what you assume would be the Great Hall.
Karina will make her way that way then.
Okay. Does Zeke go with her and Kincaid?
I don't know. Aren't I usually nearby? So you're probably at the castle until the.
To be fair, Zeke could have just woken up and heard that his liege lord was throwing a party, which is probably news to him because his liege lord didn't mention having a party.
All right. So we're going to assume that Zeke is in the crowd of people milling towards the Great Hall. For the record, Zeke has been allowed in Levate, but you've never been in the Great Hall of the castle proper. All right, so Karina's probably the one in front, because let's face it, would a she really allow themselves to not be in front? Please. So you push open the gates, or the large double doors to the Great Hall, and it is a long, once again, beautifully carved room, done in the style of what would be a cathedral, perhaps. There is a long table that stands in the center of it, as the room itself is a long rectangle with a dome at one side of it, so it kind of goes in a rectangle, and then there's a semicircular orb on one side of it, where the dance floor is situated, or where you assume people would dance, where the orchestra would set up and start to play. The room itself is lit by torches, despite the fact it looks as if there used to be many windows that would allow sun and moonlight to pour in. At one end of the room, on a raised dais, about 10 steps up, there is the high-backed chair that you assume is Lord Tintagil's throne when he's bothered to hold court. Behind it, there is a... There is a large stained glass window which shows a beautiful red-haired she, and which shows a beautiful red-haired she smiling down at you all with a very benevolent smile in stained glass, beautiful stained glass. The room itself is lit by torches, and there is a fire set in the fireplace, though it hasn't been lit.
Yeah, no, so Karina's kind of just walking around getting the just getting the good layout of the place. Is she gonna find Zeke?
Zeke is in the crowd of changelings, so if you want to find him, he's there.
Cool. Karina may or may not bump into him. She'll look over to him. Zeke, hello. I'll wait for you to unmute. Maybe it may take him a minute. Unless he's unaware that I'm speaking to him.
Sorry, I had a... Yeah.
No, all good, dude. Karina just said hi to Zeke.
He'll say hi back.
That's weird. You didn't mention having a party tonight.
Yeah, well,
Kim,
it happens.
now that they're in the space, what do the commoners do?
They're just dancing and chilling, looking for food. They're just kind of like, this is not as, fun party as I was expecting.
One thing that will draw the attention, oh God Almighty, and save us, Christ, if it happens. There is a small plinth beside the throne, in which there is a single flower that appears to have been shocked white with some kind of frost that is floating, suspended. And underneath that there is a ring, a very, very valuable looking ring. Kim, are there pixies in the room?
Yup.
Okay.
There's just like 2 of them.
You will, by the way, Karina, you will feel a small tugging on your arm. Like, tug, tug.
Karina will turn around.
There is standing down, looking up at you, what looks to be a small man made of clockwork.
Karina will kind of tilt her head to the side. She ain't never seen this shit before. She don't know what this is. Like, hello, mental man. I am unsure of what's...
Hello, mistress. I am merely one of the caretakers. Welcome to Levite.
Karina can't help but feel that irony as she looks around at this place, as it's called Levity.
It's called levite, which means to fly or to float in Latin.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, there's actually, it's not levity, it's levite.
I.
How may I assist you today?
Well, Karina will firstly look around. There's no food up in this place, is there?
No.
Karina will look down to the caretaker and say, it seems that this party was thrown without too much in the way of food or drink. Do you think that we can be
He will say, my apologies. This is a terrible insult to the kitchen. This is a terrible insult to the hospitality of Levite. I shall send to the other caretakers, and we shall rectify this immediately.
A question. I know you have retainers, but none of them are little clockwork peeps. So, what's up?
What was that? Sorry, my headphones did a crackly thing.
You've got retainers and stuff,
Mhm.
but they're all named. There was
Oh,
no
okay.
mention of
Yeah, no,
any clockwork people.
Oh yeah, no. It's basically just, as I said, it would be physically impossible to keep a castle with just 3 people. These are just the guys who dust and clean. They don't do anything actually important. They're just a little chimera that putter around and like keep it neat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he's kind of he will putter off. Putter.
She will look over to the crowd and say, "Hey, everyone, we will be getting food and drink shortly." She'll throw a thumbs up.
The crowd cheers.
It won't take very long before several of the little guys start wheeling out of the what almost looks like a dumbwaiter. So you know where they have food that they bring from a kitchen down, but they'll actually pop out of the dumbwaiter themselves. As I said, they're only about 2.5, 3 foot tall, and start putting dish after dish after dish of food on the table, just like doop doop doop. Also see one of them very comedically attempting to roll a large barrel of something. He's not doing it very well.
Alrighty, how has the party devolved into just drinking and fucking yet?
No,
No, not yet.
the party is relatively fresh.
So we ain't kicked off yet.
The small little staff members kind of putter around with little glasses, like trays on their heads. It's suitably adorable.
I'm debating if Karina would do this or not.
Do it or no balls. I don't know what it is, but do it.
Hey, Kim,
Yes.
can Karina get a game of Punch Face going?
I've never heard of that, but I'm assuming it's just where it's a fight.
Yeah. Karina will specifically say, "None of you will be punished for striking me."
Oh, hell yeah. A lot more people than you probably expected are totally down with that.
Cool. She kind of just wants she just wants to get better with her. She needs to test her human body and she needs to push it. So, what better place to do that in a place where healing times are halved?
Kind of.
As I take my obligatory 4 to 5 bashing.
Yes.
Um,
You can try
Karina
to soak
kind of
it.
is just. Oh, sorry.
You can try to soak it.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You can try to soak it.
Oh, okay. Oof, I take all that shit.
Shit,
If you're
yes, you do.
talking, Kim, I can't hear you.
I just said something. But yes, you
Okay,
can
so
it's just like floor bashing.
cool. Yeah, so Karina at this point now does need a drink, so she is just going to currently start drinking, citing that she's pretty good for right now.
They brought up probably like wine and cider.
Karina does not drink it like wine. Karina drinks the wine probably how you would drink beer.
By the way, Kim, have more commoners been arriving over the course of the time?
Yes. They've heard it was a party. They have come to celebrate.
So how many are currently rammed into Tintagil's Great Hall?
Got like 4, maybe 5.
Beg your pardon?
Let's throw back to a movie. There's like a lot. There's like 40 or 50.
Oh dear. Has it gotten loud enough to the point that he will actually hear it from his forge down in the bowels of the castle, or no?
Yes.
Oh dear. He will kind of. What does he have here? Like
What
over
does
the
what?
sound of ringing hammers and such.
You're hearing a lot of people just kind of talking and having fun and making merry. It's like, when your parents are hosting a party and you're antisocial as fuck, and so you're just chilling in your room and all you hear is, random chitter chatter from like the kitchen where there's food, but you can't go get food because then that would mean social obligations and having to talk to people. You're just kind of.
Kim, this is a wound that is very deep in your soul, isn't it?
Yeah, that was very specific.
We don't need to talk about that, but that's what it sounds like, okay?
Okay. I just want to hug Kim now and tell her it's okay.
You can just. Yeah.
Kim, are you having a sniff moment?
Don't worry about it. Just go back to the scene.
Okay. Tintagil will throw down his hammer and he'll look at his trolls and he's basically going to gesture for them to all follow him. Bear in mind, Tintagil is naked to the waist because, obviously it's really hot in a forge. So so he's literally just wearing he's wearing his clothing from his waist down as he buckles on the belt that contains his sword and his 6 shooters as he leaves the room.
So, question: what's Tintagil's appearance score?
4.
Okay.
I believe his spec is. Give me a second. I have to check what his appearance spec is. La 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 la. His appearance spec is Tactical Areas.
Better be what can he see with his elven abs?
All I'm
His spec
imagining.
is his spec is beautiful.
Oh, so this beautiful, sweaty man is walking out shirtless from his floor.
Yes.
Karina, I need you to roll like some Viking will.
Wait.
No, that was a.
I have an idea though. Give me a minute.
But for the record, because it's at this point he has for House Dougal. He has how many implants does he have as a count? Is it two or is it 2 or 4?
4. 'Cause you get one for every. You get one per dot in title, and you've cut 4 dots in title.
Okay. So without wearing his shirt, fun fact, because you can see it, because I stole this one from Cardlin because I thought it was bitchin'. His spine, it has been replaced. So you see the fact that you actually see his spine through his back, and it's made of gleaming golden clockwork. Yeah. That's the only visible one. The rest of his are all internal. He's wearing the optic over his eye, but you know he has 2 eyes. He's kind of going to walk. He's going to walk to the door of the Great Hall, flanked by 3 very large female trolls who probably all look hell pissed. And he's going to question, Kim, have the commoners started to play music or anything?
One of them, you don't know. Well, this is in the dreaming, so can't really say one of them brought in a fucking boombox. But no, there's a band. There's like flutes and violas and violins and yes, there's a lute and a full size harp. You don't know how the fuck they got a harp in here, but there is a harp in here. Dedication.
Kim. Bang, bang, bang. 3 shots into the ceiling.
Okay, that's still ceilings you've got to repair, but the music will stop, and you'll hear the very comical screech, as where the fuck did the ladder go? Oh my god, I hit it into oblivion. Sorry. And you hear, the screech as bows are kind of tautly pulled across the strings, as everyone's just kind of stunned because they were not expecting that.
Evan has. Hang on, Marcus, have you returned yet? Apparently, Marcus is a figment of our imagination. We accept this. He's going to. Was he ever real? Kim? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
It's the fantasy stuck in a river.
He's going to look at the changelings. He's going to say, "What is the meaning of this?"
I heard there was a party. A random satyr says.
Karina just points to that satyr like.
So tempted to shoot the satyr in the leg.
No.
You can see the fact that all of the emotions are playing across his face. Mostly the what, the, and the fuck.
What?
So Karina at this point, she's had a lot to drink. She's not drunk though, so she's not going to flirt with the shirtless, beautiful man that just walked into the Great Hall. She'll get up. For the records in town, it looks like Karina's been. She looks like she got the shit kicked out of her. She'll come up to Tintagel, and she'll kind of say, Your Excellency, we did hear there was a party. We heard you were throwing a party here. Is that not the case? It doesn't look like that's the case.
You'll see him look up at the stained glass statue behind, or the stained glass window behind you, and he'll sigh. He'll look at Karina for a moment with what appear to be with his golden eyes, that appear to be very sad for a split second. That's one of the only times you've ever seen him show emotion. As he'll say, "Well, the people have gathered. I will not be accused of being the one who would slay the fun."
Gnarly. Just hear the satyr say.
He'll look at the band. Are they commoners or are they nobles? Or are they commoner kits rather?
Yes. There's Eshu and a red cap. And yes, commoners.
Okay. he's going to say, well then. He'll point at the door to the freehold, which is still open, and he'll say, Madame de Monsieur, mein Damen und mein Herren, ladies and gentlemen, allow me in that case to welcome you to my palace and to my home, with a display worthy of you and yours. Hi, Kim. Let's throw some oneromancy.
I mean, okay.
Kim, I wish to create a fireworks display.
Okay. Remember correctly, you gotta pull it out of somebody's dreams, so.
I assume he's pulling them out of his own, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, that works too.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the idea. Basically, he's going to imagine what he wants to do as he does it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume fireworks would probably come under prop, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, because he'd have to use the Fae to target himself to get the dream, then the prop in order to create the fireworks, and then the scene in order to make a display, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, let's make this impressive. He has enough scene to target himself, and he has enough prop because fireworks are actually pretty simple. They're literally just gunpowder in fancy with some colorant in it, in fancy tubes, and shot into the air. So he has enough prop to do it. Does Tintagel have scene? I think he does. He has scene 1. Okay, Kim, I'm going to spend 4 glamour into scene. It basically give him scene 5 to light up the night sky with fireworks.
Okay.
Awesomely visually impressive. As in a welcome to this wonderful place. Have a wonderful memory, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he has 4 the oneromancy. He has 2 in all of the other relevant spheres, which means he's rolling 6 dice. He's just going to do the whole kind of grandiose sweeping movement of the welcome and put his arms out wide in order to add to the visual effect of it. So whatever you give me for that, I assume probably 1 or something.
Mm-hmm. That's one.
Cool. And he's in a freehold, so that's an additional -1. So that'll be 6 dice, div 6. And he's going to spend a willpower. Oh. Dear. Kim, I have 6 successes.
Okay. There is a very There's a very large. Well, it actually spans your entire castle because that was scene 5, and it's just like a really large building because scene is wonky. We'll put it at that. So there are fireworks pointing out of every single window that is able to be open. There are fireworks on the balcony. They are everywhere except for inside because, you know, they kind of realize, well, that would probably not be such a good idea to actually have them inside if they were to then be lit because then his house would kind of explode. And all of them, there are some that are relatively really decorative, and then there are others that are a bit more plain. You can expect, you know, they're just kind of like the little go into the sky and poof, and, you know, just like a random colors. But then there are other ones, which is, of course, because this is the dreaming, and things are magical. You don't really know what they will do, but boy, they are massive.
In that case, he's going to use the effect to basically start setting them off in the display. So, boom, 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 boom.
As I said, there are some which were small and tiny and rather insignificant. They are not as brilliant as some of the other ones. There are even little sparklers that go off, that can be taken out of these boxes by the guests if they so choose. A couple of them do. A couple of them are slightly afraid because there's a couple satyrs here and they have fur. The last thing they need is to have their fur be set on fire. Some of the larger ones make displays such as, a swan kind of gracefully swimming across a lake. You don't really know how it's done with fireworks, but they did it kind of like in the Lord of the Rings style right there. There is firework of a dragon, totally taking that from Lord of the Rings because lulsies. That kind of sweeps over. Huh?
I said, hey, Gandalf is cool.
Hella. That kind of sweeps over the castle and down across anyone, any of the people who are walking up to the castle still. There's another one which depicts... Actually, it depicts a large festival where there are people kind of dancing and cheering. And when they see that, the shouts and the oohs and the ahs get even louder from those in the castle. And then the last largest one to be set off. It's a dance. There are two clearly she individuals, one a female, one a male. They walk across this large area and they embrace each other and hug each other, and then they begin dancing. And as the firework display begins to fizzle, the female she fades away first, and the male she looks downtrodden before he too finally does fade away as the last little bit of gunpowder is ignited and gone.
Oh, Kim, am I going to have to roll flashbacks?
This was pulled out of your dream. I am sorry.
It's fine. What is flashbacks in Changeling? It's a willpower roll, I think.
I'm not entirely sure, because I know the flashbacks here was it's so much wimpier compared to flashbacks in
Oh yeah, because vampire ones fuck you up.
Pisses me off beyond belief. Flashbacks, either positive or returning to have to you. Yeah. They either must be played out or forced away with the expenditure of a willpower point.
All right. Is Karina standing next to Tintagel as the firework display ends?
Probably.
The two of them looking up. You'll notice a single tear roll down his cheek as he's going to have to spend the willpower to maintain his composure.
You know what? If Tintagel's going to express some emotion, let's have Karina express some too. Upon seeing Tintagel be very moved by this creation of his, not to the point of joy, but to the point of very clear sadness, all Karina will do, and Tintagel can easily shake off her hand and be like, how dare you, whatever. She's just going to squeeze his shoulder and look at him.
Sorry, continue.
Almost as if she in a way empathizes with him.
He will just continue to look at where the two figures danced before, for a minute or two. Before when it passes, he'll nod and he'll look at Karina and he'll say, Thank you, Lady Stormfury. I'm quite recovered myself.
She nods and acts as if nothing happened. As if nothing just fucking happened.
Kim, what do the commoners think? And or other guests?
They're all just kind of like, oh yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome. Woo! You hear somebody say, let's hear it for the man of the house. And they all start like screaming again.
Huh. Tintagel is going to retire up to his throne and just kind of watch the party. Oh, Marcus is back.
I'm so down for Kincaid showing up to the party like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Anyway, Marcus, what has occurred is you heard about a party at Tintagel's Freehold, located outside of the Changeling Market. Everyone's gonna be there. Karina also shot Kincaid a text about it. Because Kincaid's her buddy.
Kincaid will most assuredly show up. In clothes that are actually clean. Kind of pimping. Yeah.
You will have probably on your walk up to the castle have seen an amazing Lord of the Ringsian fireworks display.
Someone's got a lot of free time. He will walk in and make nice with people.
There is food.
Hi. Oh, really?
Yes.
Well then, as he can't satisfy one hunger, he will satisfy this food thing. And unless someone says anything, actually he doesn't really care if anybody says anything to him. He just noms. Nom for the nom, nom, nom.
The only thing people say to you is a couple satyrs kind of hit on him. And they're just kind of like, oh, hey, how you doing, Red Cap?
At which point he tests their dexterity. Do they have 6?
No,
If you
they
suck
do
at
not.
Staffing the 6, then may be able to make it happen. Teamwork makes the dream work.
They do not have dexterity 6. Don't know how you're just going to text their dex like that or test their dexterity like that, but no.
But do they have Stam 6?
One of them.
He's like, because Kincaid is a super boring cisgender, he goes, are you like, are these the right bits?
Just the satyrs look really confused. Or was that an OC question? Can't tell.
No, it was, he checks them. He actually fondles them. Their genitalia. To make sure.
Yeah, no. If they look confused, Karina will say, I believe he is asking whether you are male or female or some other identity.
The one with Stam 6 has a penis.
Hmm. He kind of looks at him for a second and goes, like, so, are you like a giver or like a taker?
I will pay money if Kim's answer is I can be whatever you want me to be.
Shut up, because that's what I was gonna be! I couldn't, like, I'm trying to force myself to say this in, like, this voice. I don't think I can do it. He just says, I can be whatever you want me to be. I'm sorry.
Hang on, I will paraphrase for Kim. I can be anything you want to be.
Yep, there we go.
All right.
I couldn't
Here
do it.
goes. All right. Okay, we have 2 ground rules. 1, you call me daddy. 2, we see how far you can really. 2, you're gonna need one of those 2.
Oh god.
Just for my own person. Just for. I'm gonna need one of them over there. Yeah.
Oh, so what do you mean by one of them?
He needs a girl.
Okay. The satyrs look like they're all ready, to just have some group sex. So they're all just kind of
all
like,
of them?
okay.
Okay, so all of you? All right, cool. Let's go get some rope and some bacon. We can do this.
You know what? I can chance she's laughing. She's laughing for the second time since I started playing her. She is monotonely cheering Kincaid on.
As she's laughing, a couple of the satyr look over to her and they're just kind of like, you can join if you want.
Taken aback by that.
Y'all like chocolate, huh? Okay.
I have heard it is very sweet. She starts to roll on up to the group.
Because I've met a Yala. That shit looks kind of sour.
Whatever, fam. Whatever.
And then, just to extend the offer, because they don't really know shit about this random ass count that just kind of walked up, they'll also look over towards him and just kind of, they'll make that motion of, come on. Trying to be all, seductive about it, though.
The Count isn't paying any attention. He's sitting up on his throne, kind of, looking down at proceedings, but he's not really looking. He appears to be deep in thought.
They look sad. And so one of them will actually just kind of call up to you and say, you want to come join us for a good time?
He will blink as if blinking back into consciousness, maybe, and look down from where he's seated at the satyr, and he'll say, "No, thank you. Alas, the only time that I desire, I do not feel as though you, even with your, no doubt, substantial abilities, could provide. However, as I've said, this is my home. You are my guests for the evening. There are bedrooms upstairs. Find whichever one is to your liking."
Probably going to need something a bit larger than just a bedroom.
He'll contemplate. They are large bedrooms.
I got bacon.
Karina's response, because she doesn't actually want to do something like this up in Tintag's place, she'll just say, "We do have an entire forest with which we can do whatever we like."
Ooh. I like the way you think.
There are Tharlane in the forest.
Really, guys. But in the bedroom, there's AC. But okay, I mean.
Well, you're not afraid for it to get a little hot and steamy, are you?
I don't get it.
That's okay.
Kincaid begins covering himself in bacon grease.
What the fuck?
He says, "We're about to go in the woods. There won't be time for lube. I want to be prepared."
I'm fairly certain that grease is not the substitute for that.
No one asked you.
That's why I'm asking them. I'm fairly certain that grease is not a good substitute for lube, is it not?
A couple of
It'll
the
work.
satyr just kind of shrug, and they'll say, "We've had worse." It was quite interesting. There was this one time with some Vaseline and a car battery.
Getting naughty with the football. That's what I'm talking about. the day.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably got that line off of Lucifer.
All right, run.
Ooh. A couple of them run. A couple of them are just kind of like, no.
Oh, okay. Well, they're boring. He chases after the ones that run.
Are the ones that are staying just looking at Karina like, hey, what's up? What you gonna do though?
Yes.
Karina will look at them. Karina will look at them all and say, His Excellency was correct. There are Thalain in the forest. However, I would not wish to sully His Excellency's bedrooms with our activities.
With bacon grease.
My place, all of you? I'm moving anyway.
Ooh. The room of a baroness. Don't mind if we do.
It is very humble.
It won't be after tonight.
Come on now. Yo, so how many people did we get up in this piece, though?
Now the party is bordering on about 100.
Oh my god, I think Detachable accidentally threw the party of the fucking year. Well, okay, maybe not be the party of the year, but it's definitely a party to kick off the new year. Shit.
Yes.
You know what? Tintagil's going to stand up once again. He is naked to the waist.
A lot of people are looking him over.
He's going to raise his hand, and he's going to raise his hand for silence.
It takes a bit, but they do eventually quiet down.
He will look at them all, and he will say, "Hold each other close, and hear the whispers, the murmurs of the hearts that each one of you share. And know that the moments that you have, encapsulate them in crystal, that memory that can never be taken from you. And when you leave this place, with smiles and happy sighs upon your lips, know and understand that that memory that you create with others, perhaps those who are special to you, will be eternal and remembered even on to the hereafter. Live for the now, because on the morrow, all you will have left is the memory. There is no jewel more valuable than the memory."
Couple nod solemnly. But the rest of them are just kind of like, can the dude stop talking so we can go back to partying? But most of them are very solemn when he says that.
He'll kind of. Go ahead, Marcus.
Kincaid, covered in bacon grease and prepared to go for like in the woods, is moved by the speech of our powerful Dougal Lord, and he says, "I gotta go." And
Aww.
well, I mean, unless you want to follow me and give my friend Cece a floor show.
Oh, isn't that the little pixie girl?
Yep.
We've heard about her.
Yeah, she's a freaky deaky little thing. She's a naughty little princess. And Daddy has to go see her. Because Daddy takes care of his princess.
They kind of pout for a moment, and then they just go join the group with Karina.
Yeah, Karina doesn't know what happened. She just kind of sees that, like, how many satyrs were there?
There were about 4 with Kincaid. They've all just kind of walked over towards oh shit, Karina now.
So this is what Karina has, just 8 satyrs just being like, hey, what's up?
Yes.
Karina wasn't ready for this.
No one is ever ready.
He's just going to say, oh, did it happen? Or...
He said he needed to go visit his princess.
Right. Makes sense. Shall we then? I will, with 9 of us, it will get a bit cramped. It's fine, though. You'll all be like that.
The homeless king.
What was that, Marcus? You said something, but it was so low and quiet, I didn't catch it.
Mm.
I assume he just had BRB or something.
He said, ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
Slightly.
Yeah, Karina.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh, sorry. Karina will actually say, excuse me, there's something I need to take care of before I head on out. Check on my friend, make sure he's okay.
We'll be waiting outside.
All right. The satyrs may or may not notice that Karina referred to a commoner as a friend.
They did. Will be talked about later, but for right now, they've got something else on their mind.
All right. Karina's actually going to approach Kincaid, and she'll ask,
Yeah. What's up?
weren't up to it tonight?
Oh no, I'm quite up to it. I can play through all those, but I feel it's not the same without the princess, you know.
I understand that.
Who'd have thought I get whipped by a pixie? Is that Pisky whip? Is that a pussy whip?
No. I wouldn't say it. I would call it being faithful.
Oh no, we're all extra freaky deaky, but we hadn't made the rules for that yet. See, yeah, Red Cap's all about tearing things down and all that shit. But in this particular type of relationship, you have to know how things work. And so I'm gonna go figure it out. How things work.
All right. Let me know, since once we're done, I'll definitely, if you're open to it, pass the number along to them.
Are you're gonna go get plowed by Captain Giant Penis over there.
Oh, that's adorable. He thinks he's going to be on top.
To be perfectly honest, I thought you were, you know.
She'll look over to the door where the 8 satyrs are, and she'll just say, things like this, they're a way to pass the time. If you had to ask me my preference, I wouldn't really be able to answer you.
Confusing cheat questions. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Bye.
Bye.
And
So-
yes, he will go to see his princess.
Kim, Tintagel is going to stand up from his chair, and he's going to kind of put his hand on the back of it. And he's going to turn around to look up at the stained glass statue, or the stained glass window behind him. He's going to raise the glass, and he kind of, for those of you, for anyone who's listening or is near enough to hear him say, he says in a loud, not a loud voice. He's not shouting, but he's not being quiet about it. He'll say, "You always did love parties. We built this place so that we could drift to eternity and back, so that you could see everything. And yet, when you were gone, I couldn't have the light. I couldn't have the wonder anymore." You get the... He places his wine glass down, and he goes to his table that's beside his chair. Whenever he needs solace, he picks up the rose that's underneath its little glass cylinder thing. Kim, has anyone tampered with his stuff?
Not that over there.
Okay. He will take the rose in his hands and kind of he'll hold it close to his heart, as it seems to grant him some type of solace, before he'll place it back next to the ring and put the little glass cone down. I believe people were GTFOing. I just wanted to do that before people left.
There will be kind of a soft voice beside and says, "That was certainly touching."
Thank you. Is this Mordrake's voice by any chance?
No. Not him. Slua
He
don't.
will turn.
He don't turn up.
He will turn to see who it is.
It's a young Eshu who, unlike a couple of the other people, he doesn't look too excited in the party. He probably just assumed that shit was going to go down and he was going to have a new story to tell, so he just kind of showed up for story.
May I help you?
I suppose not. I just wish to see who the owner was.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I hope
Yeah,
you've
sure.
enjoyed the festivities of my home.
Oh, certainly. Well, I hope you have a pleasant evening.
And you.
And he'll just kind of quietly wander back off into the crowd.
So so Kincaid and Karina are leaving.
Yeah, she's on her way out. Karina will probably stop by to say goodbye to Tintagel, since she does know him personally.
Tintagel, seated where he is, will look down, and he will say, "Pleasure to see you again, Lady Stormfury."
You as well, Your Excellency.
I ponder, as it was not intended, who told you that there would be a party here this evening?
I just happened to be hearing whispers and discussions about it.
It's going to contemplate. Him? Where do I keep my valuables?
I don't know, it's your castle.
That's fair. I'm just trying to think, like, what would he have that anyone would be interested to get inside his house for? He's going to say, "Baroness Stormfury, before you leave, would you mind taking a brief walk with me?
Of course, Your Excellency.
Thank
We'll probably ask one of the goers to let the satyrs know that she'll be out there in just a few minutes. She's just saying goodbye to the party's host. And she'll also include the following message: when we get to my place, all of you will line up. As a way to keep them excited.
As he passes Kincaid at the door, he's going to turn to Lady Stormfury and he's going to say, "Would you mind bringing your friend with you? We may require some of his ilk."
All right. Kincaid.
Yes, Lady Stormfury.
We might be taking a quick detour. Mind coming along with us?
On the way there, he grabs like random cake and begins eating it.
So, Kim, Tintagel is going to go and check first the engine room of the castle, the thing that actually makes it fly, in order to make sure that that hasn't been tampered with.
The only thing you really find there is there's like a knocker who probably just heard the ticking and kind of walked down here, but he doesn't. He's just taking a look at it. Doesn't seem spiteful or anything like that. He was just kind of curious. He's not also taking notes down or anything. He was just kind of like, And it looked like he was about to be on his way.
Okay. And he's just going to give the engine a quick once-over, like nothing's been tampered with, right?
Nope.
Okay. Next, he's going to go up to the forge room and just make sure all of his equipment is still there. All the magical reagents he has for Cece's device are there, etc.
A couple gemstones are kind of gone, but they weren't really important. There were pixies here. They saw shiny. They couldn't help
Pixie saw shiny. Okay.
Pixie saw shiny.
Pixie saw shiny. He's just going to check anywhere else that there might be anything of value and/or anything that could be tampered with.
Okay. You begin looking through, and actually, yeah, Marcus, if you want to roll perk investigation, that is fine. Because I was told, just let it be a social scene, but then people gave me an offering to throw like some Changeling After Dark shit in here, so guess what? I'm taking the reins and throwing in some Changeling After Dark shit.
Always Changeling After Dark.
Always Changeling After Dark. Like, always sunny in Philadelphia, but it's not Philadelphia, it's Dublin, where it was like raining for like ever. I assume that it always just kind of rains over there. It's neither here nor there, because I also believed it was always snowy in Canada until I was like 16, because America school systems. So you're walking, and you're walking, and I did click the link, Marcus. Yes. Yeah, y'all can go ahead and roll some perk investigation.
I just did with 2 successes.
Yeah. You like me on.
Tintagel does not actually possess investigation. I really have to change that during next month's execution.
Is Kincaid gonna roll perk investigation? Or is he gonna be quiet? Man, this would have been great because I could have said with your eagle eye, with your elven eyes, but no. Okay, so with you two both having 2 successes, you're you're walking down, and you're walking down, and you're going further in the bowels of the castle. You two begin to notice every now and then there is black sinew kind of strung up around the inside of the castle. Almost. It's placed here and there. It's kind of slimy when you look at it. As you continue on, there's more of it. And it becomes much more, I'm not going to say prominent, but instead of the 1 or 2 strands, very small strands and corners and alcoves, there are now wads of it as you continue on.
Can I begin tracking from that last from the sinews?
It's yes.
Okay, so I gotta roll again. Give me a moment.
Now, Karina's unsheathed her knife. She was ready to stab a bitch.
She's always ready to stab a bitch. Damn, that's all of my players are ready to stab a bitch.
Question: does Karina have firearms, or do you have archery?
I have archery.
Dang, he was going to offer you a gun.
I mean, Tintagel don't know that, although Tintagel also knows that Karina's never fired a gun. Well, he's never seen her fire a gun.
He's going to offer her a gun anyway.
Oh no.
Karina shrugs and goes, "Thank you, Your Excellency. What's the worst that can happen with crack shot?"
Side eye.
To continue tracking, I got 2 successes to follow the direction this goes, how this is set up.
Okay. So you're going. And going and going and going. And Kincaid's able to keep on the track for a good bit of the time. Plus, it's not all that hard. There's not really a lot of open space. It's kind of also devoid of a lot of things which would have that kind of touch up and spruce up their home. Instead, it's it's the stereotypical castle of like this lonely lord on top of the hill. So it's just empty corridors.
I was sad.
Just saying. It was a thing. And you track it to a balcony. And you can kind of see it traveling down off the balcony, almost as if something had been walking either from inside or it came up the balcony and into the castle itself, where it then stopped shedding the sinew. But yes, it leads down the side of the castle and deeper into the forest. Also, from the balcony, you can see this group of satyrs who are all very eager and just kind of groping each other.
Karina, upon seeing the tracks lead into the forest, looks over to Tintagel and says, "So, is Your Excellency up to a track down?"
He's going to nod and basically, Kim, you know how have you ever seen those old-timey kind of speaking tubes that they have on like ships and such in all the old steampunk movies?
Yep.
He's basically going to backtrack a couple of hundred feet till he finds one of those. He's going to speak into it up to the trolls who are currently, watching the remainder of the party, and he's going to just let them know that he's going to go and hunt down something that broke into the lower levels, and that they should continue to just make sure that nobody gets rowdy upstairs, etc.
Karina will just ask that the satyrs also know that Karina's going along too, because fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He will inform them that he will inform Aja to go and tell the satyrs that they are to go. He will then remind Aja that if they offer her a place instead of Karina, to punch them in the face. Or words to that effect.
You just kind of hear her mutter quietly about maybe she wanted to join the satyrs, but yes, Your Excellency.
Oh, no, I don't suppose he would. He'd probably have swords, but Kim, I very much doubt this character would have a random, because he doesn't use a bow, so I very much doubt he would have a bow lying around.
Nope.
He'd be able to offer Karina. He'd probably be able to offer Karina a sword if she wanted it.
She's cool with sword. If he has some string and the correct material, she could probably real quick fashion a bow.
Would be really.
That's a lot harder than you think.
Is it? Okay, never mind that.
Yeah.
So you know what? Since he doesn't really use his, he's just going to take his own sword out of his scabbard and hand it to her.
Okay, she will thank Tintagel. And is it anything other than like a just a well-made longsword?
It's just a longsword. And to answer your question, his gun is basically a chimerical 6-shooter.
So 5 base damage or 6?
I can't remember what a revolver is in the damage chart. It should be there somewhere.
Also, because I forgot to mention this earlier, there was probably like a tiara or something that your wife wore. It's gone.
Oh, Kim, why didn't you say that beforehand?
I just
crap.
I got caught up with the sinew part. You got it. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
That's fair. Kim, how far are we off the ground?
Hella. Well, okay, y'all are on the lower level, so it's not hella, but it's like 2 stories.
Kim,
if you say what I think you're gonna say?
Unlike Ian, I have Dex and Athletics.
So did he.
We also have Discord. Like, let's think about this.
Discord likes me. It doesn't like Marcus.
What is up with my players throwing themselves off of buildings when they could easily just fucking walk through the door?
Yeah, I feel like even Karina will probably rather than be that thug.
Okay, but basically Tintagel, because his wife's circlet is missing, he's going to go at a sprint at this point. He's going to barrel through people if he has to.
Give me a moment. My friend sent me a really stupid ass Snapchat.
Is it another picture of concerned Kim?
No, apparently, sorry, her cat was just like dead ass staring at her. Like, just straight up staring at her. So she took a video of her, like, slowly zooming in, from across the room to her cat. And it just said, "You want to know what this fur is made out of? ... boyfriend material." I can't stand Michaela sometimes. Oh, but I love her. Anyway. So yeah, you just kind of start barreling through people, and they're all just kind of like, you hear, the typical sounds of, "Oh, okay," and then somebody spills a glass, and yeah.
yo,
Make-
goddamn it, Kim.
But you guys make it out.
Excellent. Hey, yo, Kim, I'm really tempted to go into the party and basically say I will give 100 dross or something ridiculous if anyone finds it and start, like, you know, everyone started to light torches and run around the forest. Whilst they're all half shit-faced.
At this
That would
point,
end badly.
at this point, there's not a lot of people left on their feet. The party's starting to
Oh.
come down towards the close, and so everyone's just kind of like laid out everywhere.
Okay. In that case, yes, Kim, we're doing that thing where we charge off heroically into the forest.
Nothing ever goes wrong when people just charge off into a forest.
Nope.
Okay, so
Can Karina whistle for a badass Black Panther to show up as backup?
yes.
By the way, once the Panther wanted to stick with Karina, she no longer has to wear the saddle.
Panther's very
out.
happy. I'm like, oh yes.
Though Kincaid desperately wants to eat the Panther's face first, he opts not to. Because homies.
Oh. As you guys get closer to the forest, Kincaid, there are a lot of spiders. A lot. They're small and insignificant, and they're not really all that big a deal. But you just kind of they look really, really similar to the ones that are infesting your house. And a couple of them just kind of.
One.
Hmm?
He will grab one, and he will pick it up, and he will
They're-
look at it.
When I say they're tiny, I mean like if you try to pick one up, you'll probably smush it with your gauntlets. Like a couple centimeters.
He will just look at them and goes, at some point, the spider's going to have to forgive me. Okay, guys?
You know what? These spiders form up into the word no.
That spider
Seriously.
really hates you.
What did I do to the freaking spider?
I think you just exist.
Yeah, that's pretty much
I
it.
had to move. I had to move, guys. Spiders have eaten everything.
The no will just get larger.
Guys, what does she want?
Well, look, we can figure it out. All right, I got you.
They try to spell out the word death, but it ends up just like DETH.
It still gets the point across.
Oh, Tim, look.
Yeah, this is gonna get real as fuck.
A wild Lindsay has appeared.
Yes, she has. So
Welp.
this wonderful, wonderful woman enters
Welp.
wherever you are. I don't know where you are, but you are
Okay,
somewhere. She is in.
So
Okay, so there was a party hosted by this random count who, you know, he's got tragic backstory, you know, with the little trademark symbol up, you know, at the end of the backstory right there. And he was hosting a That's how the satyrs were describing it, okay? That's how they were describing it.
God, that's fucking funny.
I will fight some satyrs.
I mean, that's fine. One of them's got stam 6, so they can probably take it. And Dude Bro was hosting a party was all fun. There was a fireworks display. It was really good. There wasn't really food at the beginning but food came later on, thankfully. And the party was starting to wind down. A lot of people have had way too much to drink, so they're just kind of passed out on the floors and in bedrooms, and you don't really know how, but somebody is on the ceiling. We're not going to question it, but they're just kind of asleep on the ceiling.
I just have this great image of Tintagel tomorrow with a broom attempting to poke him off the ceiling.
Right. Oh my god.
I'm imagining he's just one of the fucking Slua with one of the birthrights lets him cling on to shit. Just keep scurrying around.
Maybe.
Oh, Kim, if my house gets infested with Slua, I'm getting the fire.
I mean, you can try, but then they'll just start breaking shit.
Oh, my
and you have
valuable shit.
valuables.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, what this has led to, Lindsay, is the rumored host of the party, along with a she, a redcap, and a giant black panther, are currently just rolling into the forest.
Somebody might or might not have stolen my dead, my dead ex-wife or my dead wife. See tragic backstory. Mark A. Somebody might have stolen her circular.
It's tragic backstory. Hold on, I will spell it out on here.
Also, I don't think Tintagel's wearing a shirt still.
He is not. In fact, he is still appearance 4 with the preface beautiful and naked to the waist.
So the question is, since you all are storming the forest, how does Ravenna come into this?
I'll be back in just. Fuck you, Kim.
No, rolling up. Ravenna could have been rolling up to this party like, "Hey, this looks pretty cool," and then she sees everybody squat up.
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. I just need to get a drink. Fuck you, Kim.
Like, oh, there's a panther in Ireland. What the fuck?
It's a giant panther too.
What is a giant panther doing in Ireland?
It is a chimerical panther, to be fair.
Still.
As they make their way out, though, just kind of get Ravenna in the scene. Karina will, as they make their way out, she'll meet Ravenna's eyes. She'll stop and just kind of look at her. Fashionably late entry.
She nods.
It seems the party is for the most part over, though it seems we're about to go and turn up. Karina takes her knife off her belt and hands it to Ravenna. Shall you come along?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Oh, Karina says, we're about to go and turn up. And Karina's handing Ravenna her own knife and asks if she wants to come with.
She'll draw her chimerical sword and say, yeah.
Oh, Karina just hands go up. She's like, all right, not bad. And she just puts her fucking knife back.
I've got a blade bigger than that. Thanks.
Sorry about that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit excited.
She smiles.
She kind of looks at Ravenna, kind of squints her eyes.
Yeah, Ravenna's given Karina a look like, why are you familiar to me? Why?
I don't think we've met. I am Baroness of House Asen.
Storm Fury?
Yes.
She. I am, Ravenna Stardust, Baroness of House Leonin.
It is good to see one of your house in Hibernia. I have not met any of you yet.
She smiles.
To describe Karina, because you've only met Karina like one time in Sane.
Yeah.
Karina looks like in here. Karina does not look regal. Karina looks like a fucking like barbarian chick.
Mm-hmm.
She is on that team no makeup life. It looks like she just got in a fight earlier. There is blood on her chimerical outfit. And she has icy cold blue eyes. Oh yeah.
She studies her. I know those eyes. I can't place why, but I know those eyes.
Karina looks a little surprised at that. She'll say, oh, very well.
And for Ravenna's part, she does look very regal. God. And all kinds of finery. And she has very bright green eyes that have this bluish tint to them. That are in both her female and mortal seeming. Her charisma specialty is captivating, and her appearance specialty is alluring. So do with that what you will.
Neat. Karina's specialty is wild.
I know.
On a side note, someone didn't refill Evan's Coke fridge, so he had to go down 6 flights of stairs.
Jesus.
Fuck.
So
anyway,
Karina and Ravenna are just kind of sussing each other out, and Ravenna is very intrigued by Karina because she looks familiar and she can't place fucking why. Like,
are two she legitimately swearing at one another?
not swearing. No, it's more of a. Ravenna's just got this look on her face like, I know this bitch, but I don't know why.
Karina, who doesn't have any remembrance, probably just gets the tiniest inkling of, I know this person. Also, why is Charlize Theron staring at me?
Right?
I love how Karina seems to get all the references, because she's yet to miss one, and we're just like, well,
Kiara had very extensive files on everything nerdy.
That's entirely fair. All right. As I said, the way we've kind of described the dichotomy, is that everything Karina isn't, Tintagel is, in the sense that, you know, she is wild and kind of, you know, that kind of unkempt beauty that you get from running in the woods, whereas Tintagel, you know, does the whole kind of I am regal and wear makeup and all that good stuff.
It's not one way wearing the shirt.
He is also not currently wearing a shirt.
Oh, fantastic. You know right away that Ravenna is unseelie. Like, that is just very apparent.
Are you wearing House Leonan's colors?
Oh yeah, somewhere. Like, they're woven into what she's wearing, sure.
Alright. Tintagel will step forward. You will notice, fun fact, his spine appears to be made, if you see his back, it appears to be made of golden clockwork.
Ooby.
Is that House Dougal thing, though. And he will offer...
Right? Oh god, House Dougal.
And he will offer a very rushed bow, as he will say, "You shall forgive me, my lady, but unfortunately I require Lady Stormfury for a matter of the utmost import." Yeah.
You're
Yes, I've been invited to go along, and you'll see that she has her sword drawn.
if that is acceptable to you, Your Excellency.
I would know your name first, madam.
Ravenna Stardust, Baroness of House Liana.
He doesn't quite grimace at House Liana, but it's definitely an "oh, well."
Right? Oh, well, you.
I don't think the house thing is a very wide known thing, to be fair.
What was that, sorry?
Their specific housewife, they keep that shit under wraps, like hard.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm still saying that they're the House of the Muses. That all they do is talk and prattle and sing. It's like, oh,
Right.
them.
Well,
Yeah.
and it doesn't help. She's unseelie, and her legacy is rake, which can be sussed out by what the fuck she's wearing. Like, just
Yeah, Korean.
she's ridiculous. She is fucking ridiculous. I'm just saying.
To be fair, Karina didn't expect Ravenna to be down to throw down, but like she was, as soon as she pulled her blade, she was like, "Alright, I guess."
In that case, my name is Count Tintagel Flickerflame Ap Dougal. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. We are currently in pursuit of someone who has stolen something very valuable from my castle yonder.
Oh my. Well, let's
And
go get
this
them.
is Kincaid. She kind of puts her hand on the Red Cap's shoulder.
She looks down. She makes a face, but she doesn't say anything. She's just like, "Oh, okay. Red Cap, how lovely." So sorry.
How to make friends and influence people. No.
She's polite. Jeez. But yes, to throw down and go help recover that which was stolen from. He's a count, right?
Yep. Count McFace. Hey, yo, Marcus, you still there? Well, that answers that. All right. So even if other people do not follow him, I'm assuming that they might. But Titagel's going to start running into the forest again.
Oh, Karina will get torches because we need torches.
Because this is total and utter insanity. Kincaid is down.
Oh, what was that, Marcus?
I said because this is totally and utterly insane. He will run at breakneck speed into the forest, screaming out roars of "fuck the world."
Karina,
Well, that amuses Ravenna. She's like, okay, he's fine.
Karina just looks over and she's just gonna say, "God fucking damn it! I hope he doesn't fucking die." Is he even going in the right direction? Actually, Kim, is he even going in the right direction?
Yeah, at this point, the trail is pretty easy to follow because it's just kind of like black sinew and goop all over the place. The spiders are trailing behind him, though. The ones that spelled out, DETH earlier. They're still just following behind him. And as you pass through, you see, well, more than just the usual eyes staring back at you. You see shadows moving. Seems like they were walking towards the castle, and then when they saw people coming through, they got skittish and they ran away. Almost. Taggle knows the reason why that is, and you probably guessed that pretty quickly.
Mhm.
But, yeah. But they do very clearly run away from you guys, posing no threat whatsoever. I have to really stress that because I know my players. They'd probably just be like, "I'm gonna go shank the bitch," and then that'll be that.
To be
Well, you're
fair,
not wrong.
the last bad we have solved diplomatically.
I would also like to point out, Tim, why are we all? What do you mean inhuman?
We're pretty fucking inhuman, guys. We are all differing degrees of inhuman, whether we are more bestial, noble to the point of not really being human anymore, or just literally made of clockwork.
I mean,
That's fair.
that's fair.
I mean, Ravenna is noble as fuck. Like, just, yeah.
Oh wow, you're married to the most unnoble noble. This one's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah. So you don't know yet, Clayton?
I like to think you did not have a happy marriage during the golden age.
Nope.
We talked about it. It started off fucking awfully.
It did start off awful, but they did wind up and loving each other at some point. So, but yeah.
So Kim, chasing after the black Icor. Or Icor.
Yes.
Icor.
We going. Zoom zoom.
You guys go through, kind of ducking and weaving between the forests, and you get deeper and deeper until there are entire trees covered in this black ooze and sinew, and it is unpleasant and disgusting, and it smells foul. Just completely disgusting, like, well, bowels. There
Oh
is
damn it, Kim! Are you doing this because I dropped you in the poo? You're gonna drop me in the chimerical poo?
no.
Okay.
He's gonna get her revenge for that, though, but it's neither here nor there. And so there is this one little shadow kind of following behind you guys. It's not really a shadow, but because it's so dark, all you really hear and see is the kind of occasional rustling of branches. There's little, once or twice you see the glimmering of eyes. Oddly enough, not the regular amber or red of the chimerical creatures that are here. Instead, their eyes are a deep purple. They don't really seem malicious. If anything, they seem curious. And then, of course, when they notice they've been spotted, they quickly duck out of sight once again. And you guys continue on, and then you hear chittering. It's not the chittering of the spider. This is the chittering of something larger, almost mechanical. Kind of like a, well, Tentagle will get this because he works with clockwork and stuff. What do you mean, what the fuck, mate? Because he works with clockwork and everything, and he's a knocker. That sounds...
I'm not a knocker.
Yeah, but you work with them on occasion.
I do.
I mean, you had to deal with Alistair for a little bit there. Gonna
I
send
like
you a.
Alice.
He's gonna send you a rudely worded letter, just saying "fuck you" and your castle. And it sounds, well, like one would expect a clockwork spider to sound like. You hear the chittering, and then, of course, there's the mechanical click, 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 click as the clockwork gears spin around and around and around. And you can kind of start piecing it together. Maybe that's just some really vicious oil. Or viscous. Viscous?
Viscous.
Viscous. Yes, oil. As we can tell here, we're all about professionalism here at the did.
It's not professional.
Kim, does this strike me as being maybe goblin tech? Goblin tech. Goblin tech.
You don't really know. You haven't dealt with You haven't really dealt with goblins lately. How's my paycheck hit actually? Because it's past midnight. You don't really deal with goblins, so you can't really tell if this is their tech or not. The closest you really have to go on is Knocker, and it doesn't entirely seem Knocker made. So, are you guys going to go deeper? I'm assuming you are, but it's always good to ask. My paycheck hit. Yes.
Deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Agree.
Leroy Jenkins.
Right? Let's go ham. Fuck it.
I loved that video when it came out. I hated Blackrock.
The she will advance bravely. The she will advance bravely into battle from behind the red cap.
Of course. It is always best.
Run forward.
It is always polite for the commoners to die first before the nobility, of course.
A run forward, codpiece thrust out.
If it means it, how far ahead is fucking Mark is Kincaid?
He's probably not far up ahead.
If you've ever seen Beastmaster, remember you remember it from a bajillion years ago when the monsters had the glowing green eyes and the like BDSM masks, he's kind of doing that kind of motion.
What the
I
fuck?
remember that TV show.
Like he's flailing maniacally, arms up, not caring, running at the forest, making intimidate checks to everything, screaming "fuck the world."
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll Dex Athletics.
Why? I don't want to roll dice.
This is a social scene.
Well,
No, man, this is Changeling After Dark, where anything can happen.
look,
Right?
I was told to leave. Okay, because I was gonna do some Changeling After Dark shit earlier, but then I was told, no, Kim, it's just a social. Just let us have a social. So I was like, all right, bitch, y'all can have y'all social. But then you guys gave me the little opening, like, oh, I'm gonna go around my castle and investigate if any of my shit was taken. I was like, that's the hook right there.
And you know what happens when Kim sees an opening? She has to fill it.
God, Marcus.
Can't always, fit the opening, but I try and do what I can with what I've got.
God.
Well, I now know things about Kim I never wanted to know.
Yes, my non-existent, penis size. I wish I had Life 3, but unfortunately I don't.
Right?
It's cool. You got fingers. Get creative.
I'm only going so far.
Anyway.
Are you going to roll Dex Athletics, or are you just going to run into it?
I'm legit just going to run forward.
Okay. You run right forward into a giant, oily spider web. You are now stuck. And I shouldn't say oil, I should say more like tar. And it is just clinging to you and your armor, and it's getting in your hair. Your glorious red locks are now not so glorious anymore. You're probably going to need to go see the resident hairdresser to get that fixed.
But Kim, I have only one question. What do my elven eyes see?
Your elven eyes see a giant ass spider web. A tar
Oh, well.
that the red cap just fucking ran into. And yeah, that's fine if he shows up. Okay. Hmm?
I was just going to add, what about the grease for himself?
In parts, the tar is. You can't tell from this far. Kincaid, you can hear the tar. Is it eating the grease? No, there's no way it's eating the grease. But you just kind of feel this faint sizzling as it kind of morphs with the grease.
Kim, Tintagel's going to walk forward. Can I rock an Intellect's Crafts with my specialty in chimerical technology in order to see if this is a byproduct, what the spider webbing could be, why it exists, that kind of like, what if I was to make something, why would this exist, basically?
That's fun.
Cool.
Meanwhile, Karina's actually going to try and get Kincaid free.
Tintagel's going to immediately raise
He's inside, chat.
I was going to say, Tintagel's immediately going to raise his hand to try to stop you because he doesn't know if this stuff is... Actually, question, because I'm quite close to him at this point. If Kincaid visibly, you said it feels like it's eating, is he sizzling? As in, like, is there steam rising?
No, it's just eating the grease.
Okay.
You can probably tell it
That
reacts
is crazy.
to stuff like that weirdly. And you'd need scene 1. Because I think that's like a closet, so you could get yourself in a closet. Come out the closet. But anyway.
Does my specialty in creative apply, Kim? Because I'm thinking how I would create something.
Yes, that's fine. Also, you don't really know how you guys were just doing your own little thing. And hella tall blue dude appears. Hella tall blue dude. You were out kind of walking around in this forest. You heard there was a party, kind of hosted by Tintagel. The satyrs called it that lonely dude with the tragic backstory TM is hosting a party.
Mm-hmm.
And, you were just kind of like, maybe I can pick up some new clients here, tell them, hey, your hair could use a little fix here and here, just freshen up a little bit.
So this is a party, Rhea?
Well, not anymore.
Okay, Toshi thinks that this is a party. Yeah.
Well, it's a party in the forest with only the group of people played by the PCs here.
The party itself ended a little while ago, like people are leaving and such.
Toshi isn't here yet, so he's arriving here thinking that this is a party, right?
You can follow okay. So the party was taking place outside of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got the party is in the forest. So you probably saw this group running into the forest. You can probably guess maybe they were running to the party before it ended. You see Karina and the red cap and shit.
Oh, also a large Black Panther.
Yes.
Have you named the Black Panther, by the way?
She has not given the Black Panther a name yet.
You cannot call it Wakanda forever.
I was just going to call her Wakanda, personally.
Because if this is a party, Toshi is going to arrive with an ounce of weed and a couple bottles of food.
You know what? Yes, because I think it's beautiful. So you roll up. You see the red cap trapped in this oily spider web. You've got, the alcohol in one hand, the little baggie in the other. You're just kind of like, hey, guy. What's going on?
Kim, an ounce of weed is not carried around in a baggie.
I don't deal with weed. I don't know how, I don't know.
Well, let's say it's a backpack. It's better that way, trust me.
Okay.
By the way, Kim, so five successes on understanding the nature of this gook.
Okay. It seems like a really disgusting tar made to trap its prey. You know of tar pits. Everybody knows of tar pits. Animals and people would get stuck in them, and of course they'd slowly, well, they wouldn't be able to get out and they'd die.
And that this red cap is stuck in it.
Yes, Red Cap is stuck in this tarry web.
He's gonna walk up.
Karina's
He's gonna
Go ahead,
walk up to the red cap.
Oh, well, thank you, Tim, for that visual aid.
He could have a dime bag though. But Karina will actually look over to Kincaid and ask, Kincaid, have you tried to eat it yet?
I got 1 success on Winter 4 to make it cold. Did it get cold enough for me to break free and brittle?
Yes, but you can tell it's not going to be cold for very long. You have, like, a turn, because you have 1 success.
I get out. I'm breaking free.
Well, you're going to need to roll...
Let me go.
I mean, probably
Let me
just, like,
go.
an easy strength check.
I'm not that strong. I'll try to.
I mean, it'll be like a diff 5, because you've got because it's frozen right now.
Can Karina assist?
As I
And assist.
as I walk up, I was gonna say, can I also assist?
Because that's a troll. A troll probably has some decent strength to just kind of, like, bust the shit down.
Yeah, like my ass only has strength 3. I assume Toshi has like strength 16.
Not yet, homeboy. Not yet.
I got 2.
Do we just roll?
Yeah, you
Are
can
we
just...
rolling straight strength? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just be strength. Yeah, yes. Straight strength.
Damn, Toshi has 3.
Get it.
Girl.
Watch me botch this shit. Nope. Karina also has 3.
Okay. So, yeah. Kincaid does his whole little thing, and it freezes, and you can kind of tell it. Any of you guys played Alice in Wonderland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, remember when you would be fighting the little tar babies and stuff, and they'd have all their goop all over what you needed to break through in order to get next. So it was kind of like that little icy shimmering kind of thing when you knew you could smash it. It looks like that. And, y'all just kind of, y'all don't just smash it. You kind of turn it into powder with all those successes. And, I mean, there's still bits and pieces in between the armor plates that Kincaid is wearing and in his gauntlets. Excuse me, and a little bit in his hair. Toshi, you can tell that's going to take a little bit to wash out of his hair. But he's free. I don't ever think Tentacle, did I ever complete the description that you got with all your successes?
You just said that it looked like somebody had. You said it looked like a tar pit.
Ah, yes. Kind of like sinew dipped in tar, which is what you can assume whoever built this chimera or this thing that you hear. You haven't seen it yet. This thing that you hear, you can kind of assume that that's kind of what they used in place of sticky spider web.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of look it up and down. Does it appear to be like, okay, I could probably reproduce this, but does it look like it was like from what it's meant to do with the 5 successes? Does it look built well?
Yes.
Huh. He's going to nod his head approvingly at the craftsmanship. He will say, if it is possible, I would like to take the thing in working order, if it can be deactivated and my wife's circlet reclaimed. If not, just as good. I'll keep the wreckage. Hashtag House Dougalancy.
And
Yeah.
Toshi is going to look at Karina and Kincaid. And, yeah, what's happening? I thought this was a party.
It is, can't you tell?
I don't know. I just walked up to a dude covered with some shit. I don't know what kind
Wait.
of parties you guys been having.
Is this the Toshi that was with us with Evinia and the dragon scene?
Mm-hmm.
I straight punch him in the face. I'm about to beat this dude unmerciful.
Are we about to do that? Are we about to do that thing where initiative happens?
Technically, he's got a surprise action because he just kind of like turned up on the dude.
Yeah, I know I wasn't expecting that.
He begins screaming things like, "Why you gotta fuck up shit with the dragon? You and your bitch. This is your fault. Beat, 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 beat."
Okay. Here comes the point where I ask both players, do you want to take this into roles or do you want to have it be theatrical?
It can be theatrical if you so choose. I will accept that. However, beat, beat.
I'm fine with either.
I'm gonna need a definite answer from one of you two.
Yeah, theatrical. Do it.
Okay.
But what if? Okay, what if the rest of us were going to intercede in a different way?
That can also be like theatrical. I don't think we need to roll initiative and shit like that. So the way I'm picturing it in my head is Kincaid, busts out of the thing. Everyone's just kind of checking up on him, and he looks over at Toshi, who just kind of helped the dude bro out. I will mention that he did help the dude bro break out of the shit. He then proceeds to look at him and starts punching him, saying all this stuff, and y'all can go from there.
Yeah, when he gets punched, Toshi's gonna like take the punch because he wasn't expecting it. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" And then he's going to very slowly and calmly, he's going to drop the backpack and then drop the bottles down on the ground, pull up the sleeves, and go at it.
Okay. Yes, it is Donnybrook time. He says why. All he keeps saying is why. And he is not pulling his punches, and this is like he's got bloody flanges on his gauntlets.
Is he? Here's the question I need to ask: are either of them trying to kill one another?
You're pretty sure Kincaid is trying to kill him. Yes.
Let me put it this way: if Kincaid is trying to kill him, like use weapons and shit, he's going to draw his sword.
Unless someone does something about it, he's going to continue this.
Yeah.
Okay, Kincaid is catching a bullet to the back of the skull.
So we actually don't do something lethal that ends a character's existence. Mind if I do something of it?
Well, people have already said, Tim, he's going to kill him. So we're at the point of lethal damage.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just asking. Because it is theatrical. So.
I mean, we can switch it to roles if it's going to be actual, real fight.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it's going to end up being.
Right. That's true.
Someone could talk. That'd be great. Words would happen.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do.
After the first punch, he says, "Why? Why did you do that?"
Yeah, Toshi's like, "Motherfucker, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about."
Why'd you fuck with the dragon? We were trying to get a deal with the dragon, and you traipsed it off with that crazy chick with Lavinia and turned it into something different. Why? You knew what we were there for. Why?
The fuck you talking about, boy? We only had a couple of drinks. That's it. What the fuck you talking about?
You fuck with my shit with Cece again, I'm gonna put you in the dirt.
You wanna go? We can go right here, right now, motherfucker.
Officially stepping in. That will not be happening. Not in this forest. Not tonight. All right? Take that out of here. This is someplace dangerous. There are Thalane running about. Hands. But you are not risking the lives of one another or us. All right? I asked both of you a question.
We heard you.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. I ain't in a rush. I'll see us around here anyway.
Catch you slipping too, blue boy.
Anytime, motherfucker, anytime.
In the name of the dreaming, he's not going to shout. Evan can't shout the situation he's in. Tintagel is going to put on his. He's going to put on his stern she voice, and he will say, "In the name of the dreaming, both of you. Now we are currently combatants behind enemy lines in a situation that is lamentable. So I will have both of your capitulation, or I will put you both down. In the name of the dreaming, it means neither here nor there to me. You may kill yourself on your own time. You are currently on my time."
Standing there with her arms folded, looking at them like, well, you heard the man.
You know what? He will look at Kincaid. He will say, "Do you wish this man dead?"
He stares at you for a good 4 or 5 seconds and goes, "Kinda, sorta. Yeah."
Very well then. The two of you can meet the auspices of Mars in the Dreaming's view for a trial by combat. One of you will live, one of you will die. Honor will be satisfied. Can we please have forward locomotion on this?
You mean like a fair fight?
Let's go with yes.
That's okay. Let's go.
Sorry, just the image of like he was contemplating. He just like, well, what does it mean to have a not fair fight? I'm a she. We don't understand this logic.
Oh, Karina's unsealing. She understands what that means.
Kim, I think we're good to start continuing on the actual plot line.
Yeah, while a couple of the she were just kind of standing back and looking, the big purple eyes just kind of came out again, and they were kind of watching that, and then they just kind of disappeared again. Of course, everyone was a little bit too busy, but the one she who was just kind of like, not my fucking problem. Could have probably saw that. So, you guys continue on, and you realize that was actually the door of this big spider web layer, and so you just kind of take like one more step forward, and then you guys notice, hey, that's a really large ass clockwork spider that was actually just kind of looking at you guys rather curiously because it watched the whole thing. And so it's just kind of looking, and it is very clearly made of clockwork. Like, I have a picture, but Tim. So, and I don't want to, cause any problems. So its abdomen is pretty much just a large ticking clock. Its eyes are little gemstones and gears, as is its mouth and mandibles. Its legs are long and spiny. What are they called? Hour hands. Yes. And you kind of, because the spider's okay. It's tall, but it's not very thick. It's not like a tarantula. It's more like a harvestman. And so you just kind of look through it, and you don't really know how, but there's a throne, and sitting on this throne is it looks pretty much like a mummy because all of the fluids have been sucked out of it, and on its head, kind of haphazardly lopsided, is the circlet.
Huh.
And it's not attacking you guys. It just looks kind of curious. It's just looking at you guys. Because it kind of wants to see if, red dude and blue dude start hitting each other again. This is like red versus blue all over again.
Oh, if it means anything, I totally imagined Karina walking up in between them and she had purple on.
Kincaid, the idiot, says, "Hey, we need the circlet back now."
It just chitters.
Kim, important question. Now that I physically see the spider, I mean, how good is this workmanship?
It's pretty good. Like, it's looking beautiful. Everything is polished and immaculate. You don't really see any flaws on it, which kind of leads you to... It's got no flaws. It couldn't have been made from a knocker. So...
Good question, Kim. This mechanical spider, has it lived very long out here in the wild? Would you happen to consider that non-domesticated wildlife?
It's not technically alive, is it?
Unfortunately, it is not alive.
Can I intimidate it to submit?
Yeah.
I'm going to bend this thing to my will, unless you guys want to punch it in the face. Your choice.
He'll kind of look at you and go, "It's a machine."
Yeah, I'm a red cap. We don't care.
Kim, basic mechanical crapola here. Can you intimidate a machine?
Red caps can literally intimidate anything.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty baller.
Also, like, it's pretty much just knockers and red caps. At that point, that can just intimidate shit.
You done ogling it?
Perhaps we should try to at least speak to the whatever it is.
Will you go do that?
Raina walks forward. He says,
Dumbass.
like he was talking. And on that note, Raina will say, Clockwork Spider, do you understand me?
It takes its two foremost legs, and it just kind of scrapes them over each other. You know, like when you see a little spider do when they're cleaning their little fangs off. Yes. And of course, when it scrapes it, it makes this, you know, metal on metal, just kind of grinding sound. You're not really sure if it understands you or not. It kind of tilts its head slightly.
Clockwork Spider, if you're able to recognize audio input, he's going to talk to it like you would talk to a machine, basically. Identify with tapping your foremost foot twice on the ground.
It looks at you for a moment, and it looks, you know, kind of concerned, and you can see the gears in its head kind of, well, not even kind of, you can see the gears in its head turning and turning and turning, and then it taps its foot once, and then it taps it again.
Oh, shit, important question. I assume the corpse that's seated on the throne?
Mm-hmm.
Corpse, yes?
Mm-hmm.
What kith does it appear to be, if any?
It's a little too shriveled up for that.
Okay.
Wrapped up in trade good.
Actually, it's not. There are no spider webs around it.
He will point at the husk and he will say, is this your creator? Once again, 2 taps for yes, 1 tap for no.
As expected, there's a pause as it works out in its head again. And then it will do the taps required for yes.
How'd that big motherfucker get in the building? The thing's huge.
Climbed in. Also, I do not think that it necessarily needs to be the size that it is.
So you've established a rapport with this thing. Great. Awesome.
And
So we're
it's
not
more
going to punch it.
It's more that I understand it.
So we're not going to punch it.
We will try not to.
It looks so tasty. Are the spiders still there, making weird words and shit, Kim?
They're not making words anymore because you're not talking to them, but they are just kind of there.
Seriously, guys? Big giant freaking spider and you're just going to sit there?
They try to spell out death again, but they end up just doing DED.
Ravenna actually chuckles at that. Like, okay, that's good.
Oh, yeah? Well, I found a bigger spider than the one in the cave. Ha! A better spider.
The spiders spell out no.
It will look. Tatachi will look at the metallic spider, and he'll say, "Is your primary role protector, guardian? 2 taps for yes, 1 tap for no."
It takes some time for it to kind of think over how to reply, and for a moment, you know, it twitches ever so slightly, and then it will tap once, and there will be a pause, and then it will tap twice.
So yes and no.
Yes.
Okay. Here. Kim, he's gonna walk towards the spider and see if it becomes skittish.
Yes. And what is your question? Yes, Tim, it is.
Okay. I'm just seeing if I can find a way to have it be bullshitted into being life so I can use my house phone on it. Because it doesn't operate much like an animal.
I don't
It
think it
doesn't.
does. I actually don't think it operates like an animal at all, other than having the obvious mannerisms. I think it works entirely different. It works like a computer.
That's fair. Is that the case, Kim?
Yes.
Okay.
Not really a computer though, more like kind of like those old-fashioned computers where you kind of like type in a request and it takes a little bit and then you'll get like a yes or a no kind of thing.
All right, yeah, I've looked it over now. As I said, does it get skittish as I walk nearer to it?
Yes.
Okay. If I was to build a machine like this, I'm once again having to use this kind of logic, how would I build it? How would I build a system to communicate with it?
Yeah, I guess Morse code might probably could do it. You know, if you're gonna work in taps.
Okay. He'll attempt that. He'll basically find a tree and just kind of do the. Because for the record, if you need to actually code anything or anything like that, Morse code is pretty easy. He'll just kind of do tap, 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 which is literally just "Do you understand?" in Morse code.
Unfortunately, does your character have anything in like a language for Morse code or something similar?
Morse code be a language. Let me see. What does he have a relevant skill that could be appropriate here? I may have to buy it new. I don't think I do. Give me a second. I don't have Morse code, but I'm trying to see if I have anything that could be equatable. No. He'll look around and he'll say, would anyone here know it or have any idea how to recreate it?
Hey, Kim.
What's up?
Any applicable skills that Karina could have to this are survival, academics, enigmas, computers, science?
I could see survival, computers, survival's computers. It would depend upon your science specialty.
Yeah, okay. It's environmental science.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
my highest
I'll throw my intelligence survival at it and see if it sticks.
You want to give it a shot first then?
Oh, you can go first by all means.
I mean,
Okay.
hell, y'all could all do it and just all talk to the spider. Like, it's not just like a one-player thing, guys. I mean, just saying.
That's fair. I just didn't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm taking this shit over, fam. Let's get it.
So, what are we doing? Are we all talking to the spider?
If you got like ints, computers, or survival, or depending on your science specialty.
Let's see.
She don't have science, does she?
She doesn't have any. She doesn't have survival. She doesn't have computers. She doesn't have science.
Or if you had naming one would also do it.
Well, to be fair, those are all common disciplines.
Right,
Okay.
and they are.
All right. Karina's got 3 on hers, assuming it was different.
Oh, sorry, Tintin.
Oh yeah, it would be standard diff.
Right. I just got 3.
I have
Okay.
2.
Sorry, one moment. Yeah, that would be enough. You wouldn't be able to say too terribly much, but you understand the gist of it, like how to, in emergencies, kind of, and how to spell, each word out, or each letter out and things like that.
So Karina will ask. Well, firstly, Karina will look over to Tintagel and ask, "Is there anything in specific you want me to ask of them?"
He'll contemplate. Ask its primary role
Mhm.
or its duty, its function.
I assume something like primary function's a bit too complicated, considering the role I have. So
Yes.
Karina will translate that into main job. If that's too, is that good?
Main job would work. So you tap that out, and it did get kind of skittish. It had kind of backed itself up over the throne, kind of hovering above the corpse. And it will take a moment, and it will gently tap on the ground and say, "Job is to be friend and protector."
To who? She will tap that out.
Creator.
All right. She is translating this for the group, by the way.
Hmm.
Who is your creator? Is that something she can morse out?
You can get like who is your owner or boss, but I mean it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah, she'll kind of go for that because that's the best she can do.
It will lift up one of its legs. Well, not really its legs, kind of like its forelegs because they're a bit smaller. I can't remember the name. My spider anatomy is leaving my brain. And it will kind of. It will. It's not gonna. It's not really caress, but it's just kind of. It will run its leg down caringly along, like, the side of the corpse's face.
Oh no! Yeah, Karina will. She'll translate what needs to be translated. She's gonna assume the rest of the squad can put 2 and 2 together pretty quick. She'll just say, "Seems whoever that is there is what's created this."
Tita's going to contemplate. He's going to say, ask it if it knows its creator's name. Or
Karina has
designation.
to think about that because she doesn't know too much. So she'll say name of owner.
It will tap out Sarissa.
Her name is Sarissa. Was Sarissa.
Kim, crafting world. Does that name mean anything?
She. You should probably roll something.
I'll make a roll if you want.
Yeah. I don't want to say Ints Crafts, but that's kind of what it's turning out to be. Slightly. 'Cause, you could roll House Dougal. Yes, and House Dougal.
Okay.
Sounds like you're struggling there for a moment, dude. You okay?
Yeah, no, it's just this chair that I'm currently sitting in decided it wanted to hate life briefly.
Same chair. Same.
I know, right? You feel my pain. What's the
Not yours, the
difficulty?
chairs. Maybe standard.
I'm going to spend a willpower. 3 successes with the willpower.
Sarissa was an Eshu of House Dougal who specialized in creating. She didn't call them chimerical companions, she called them chimerical friends. For those who were. She mainly created them for Eshu or any kind of other traveler. Her big sellers were to house, yes, the Non, simply because, they were always traveling and whatnot. They would provide company and protection if need be. She went into the dreaming one day and she just kind of never came back. You can probably assume you kind of know why she never came back, because she kind of did.
A few
How
miles
long
away.
ago was this?
It's been a couple years.
He will turn and he'll explain this to the party, and he'll say, "It must have gotten lonely."
Yes. Karina's actually going to look at the body. Hey, Kim, how long has that body been dead?
Oh, it's been dead a while. Because, time dilation is freaking weird in the dreaming. It looks like it's been there for several, like century, kind of. But then again, anyone knows that time is weird in the dreaming, so.
Okay. So is she pretty much she's just bones, right?
Not exactly just bones. There's similar to a mummy, because you can assume she probably dried out for a little bit.
Ooh, she's a husk then. Damn.
Yes.
Ew.
That's fucking brutal.
It's a husk with a pretty little circlet on its head.
My wife's circlet. You know what? This thing can clearly understand English, even if we can only converse with it properly through Morse code. Because I spoke to it in English. Oh, actually, weird question, because we found her body, and I'm not sure if she was important or not. She didn't happen to go traipsing into the dreaming with any treasures of House Dougal on her general person, did she?
Not that you know of.
Okay. He's going to walk. You know what he's going to do? Because, of course, he had to walk out without wearing his armor that has the giant House Dougal symbol on it.
Yeah, no, you just kind of bare-chested, dude.
I mean,
however,
want to go
what he does have, because he doesn't take it off, is he has his house's signet ring. It's just an ordinary gold ring, but it would have the House Dougal's crest on it. And he's going to kind of hold it up so that the spider can see it. And he's going to say, "You are a chimerical friend."
It doesn't get too close, but you can kind of see its eyes get lenses in front of it as they magnify. It does that little magnifying thing, and then it'll look at the signet, and the lenses will kind of move out of the way again, and then it'll tap for yes.
He will point at the now corpse, obviously, and he will say, Was she a knight? Or was she just Sarissa? Did she have a title, or was it just Sarissa? If she was in my house, that means she would have had to have some kind of title.
Yeah, she was a knight.
He will say, Sir Sarissa was of my house. She was House Dougal. That means, like her, as her friend, you are also of House Dougal. Will you let me take Lady Sarissa home to be with her people? He worded that as carefully as he could.
There's a couple moments of quiet with only the soft clicking following it. You know, as it thinks, and it will say, it'll only say one word, or it won't say it, it'll type out one word. Afraid.
Does Karina translate the afraid?
Yes, yes, she will.
Identify source of fear.
Outside.
He will say, you were built, sorry, no, you were created to help those outside, to bring them where they needed to go and be their friend. He's going to extend his hand and he's going to kind of sweep the group and he's going to say, we are all your friends. And we want to bring Sir Sarissa home as our friend, if you will come with us. And let her come with us.
It'll type out afraid again.
God damn it, Kim, the whole I got shite plate, but I also got a gun. That's kind of my character, so shut up.
That's literally just us. Like,
Yeah, no, right?
It's like every changeling game I've ever fucking been in. Oh, I've got this armor, but I also got a gun.
yeah, my first Julian also had a gun, even though he had like fucking sheep plate with no dex penalty. He was just like, I'm just gonna pull this out.
Parry this, you filthy casual.
Actually, I have a story to tell you about that, but that's after the scene.
Oh, wow. We're horrible people. My God, I'm gonna channel my inner fucking Frozen when I say this.
Let it go. Let it go.
No, it's even worse. It's even worse than that. It's what was it? You don't have to be afraid anymore. We're right here. We can leave this place together. One step at a time.
It'll tap out scary things out there. Must protect Sarissa.
You know something? He's going to turn and he's going to say, I would like each of you to do me a service that I will remember, and a service that I will repay. You may each come to me and ask for one piece of my artifice, one item of your heart's desire, and I will make it for you. But I need you to do me a service. I need you to all swear an oath with me, if you would be so kind, that you will protect Lady Sarissa until such time as we bring her back to my castle. I believe that that may provide our friend here with the strength that he needs in order to take his steps outside and let me bring this valiant knight home.
Everyone deserves the proper funeral. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, Toshi's gonna shrug. It's the payment is way too good to pass up. So he steps up, nods.
I love Toshi. You pay him enough money, he does things. It's easy.
Toshi is wonderful.
I have a feeling everyone's gonna start asking for guns now so they can prance around their fucking sheep plate. With guns.
Please, God, no.
But it's Ireland, guys. But Kev, it's a fucking gun. Kind of like, okay, you Americans.
Hey, I'm playing the only one here with a gun, and I'm Irish.
You're channeling your.
I was just going to say, I'm American, and I specifically have none of my characters with firearms for that reason.
Marcus and
channeling
Lindsay,
your
are you
inner
guys there?
American.
Oh God, Kim, why did you spit in my face? Why is there saliva running down my cheek right now?
Ew. That's kind of gross.
I am
unsanitary. Like hella unsanitary.
Did you hear what I asked, Lindsay, or did you not?
No.
Okay. Basically, we're trying to get the spider to be comfortable in leaving with us and allowing us to take the body of a dead member of House Dougal back up to my castle. And my character has basically said, if you will swear an oath to be the body's protector and basically to embolden the spider to be willing to leave, to leave this place so we can take the body for proper funeral, I will make you anything, any item of your desire that is within my ability to make. And I'm a Dougal. I can make all something.
Yeah, she'll agree to that. Sure.
Hey, Marcus. Marcus. Have you heard all this up to now, or have you not?
Oh, he heard everything. He still said
I can't hear you, dude. You're like really far away from the tree.
he heard everything, and he is still leaning against a tree, inspecting his gauntlets, going, "Why do I need to swear an oath?"
This is why Tintagel is going to ask, will you swear?
For what?
I've already said I will craft you one item of your choice of my artifice.
I
Whatever
don't
it
need
is
anything. I don't want you to make anything for me. You want me to do a favor for you? I do a favor for you. I don't need an oath or anything. Okay? I'll help. You want me to help? I'll help.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Kincaid. Oh, thank you, Master
Yeah, okay.
Dunstan. He will look back to the spider and he will say, all of us here gathered will help guard the body through this forest until such time as we can bring her back to my castle, where I will provide her with a safe place to rest in peace eternal. You have our word. There's no need to be afraid. We all stand with you. We will be the lights that will bring your friend here out of the darkness.
Okay, so you guys know when you look at like a really scared puppy and like it wants to go for the food, but at the same time like it's afraid to. Okay, no, I'm a tear jerk some people. So you know when you have like kittens and unfortunately one of the kittens has died and there's one just barely hanging on for life, and you're
Jesus
trying
fuck,
to get the
why,
kitten
man?
because I'm a horrible person. And apparently people keep forgetting I am a horrible person. So I just need to remind you guys occasionally that I am a horrible person. So, and you're trying to get the kitten out, but it's stuck. So you're trying to lure it out for food, but it won't leave its sibling.
Oh, we have something way better than food.
I know. So it just looks so conflicted, and on one hand, it's kind of making that halfway motion, like it looks like it's going to move away from the corpse, and at the same time, it just doesn't want to, because this is what it's been doing for, effectively, in Dreaming Time, centuries. Staying here and waiting and protecting and watching, and it really at this point does not know what else to do.
Karina's gonna do something even stupider than she did just now. She's gonna.
Before I do my stupider thing, but this may change your action, Tim.
Okay.
As Kincaid does that fake cough and shoves Karina forward.
That actually doesn't do it at all, because she was gonna walk forward anyway. So like she started walking forward, then Kincaid just kind of shoved her forward, and she was. But she's going to specifically approach the spider, not Sarissa, the spider.
The spider looks, you don't know how. It's actually got a lot of emotions for some clockwork creature. And it looks afraid, like it wants to run away when you get close, but at the same time, it doesn't want to leave Sarissa. So it's standing there kind of valiantly, but it looks hella afraid.
Karina, she's gonna kind of let go of her badass Vikingry for a minute, and put her hand, which is trembling, on the side of the spider's face, and with her other hand, she is going to tap. I am afraid too. Will you be brave with us? Change is scary. Do it together. I don't know if you need me to roll anything for that.
No. You don't really know how. You can probably get, you know what, this Sarissa person put a lot of time and effort into these creations. There's pretty much what is effectively a tear. It's made out of oil, mind you. But there is a little tear when you say that. And the spider begins shrinking. It doesn't shrink very much. It was about the size, it was pretty big earlier, and it was towering over you guys, but it was small, like a harvestman. And it just had some long ass legs. And now it's just kind of shrunk. Because you can probably tell y'all all know at this point it was doing it because it was scared and it was trying to protect Sarissa, but now that everyone's just kind of like, we're gonna protect Sarissa and we're gonna bring Sarissa back, it shrinks into about the size of a little house cat. And it just kind of nods its head and taps out, okay, trust.
Oddly enough, Karina does not translate what she said specifically.
I just got back from getting a drink. What's happening?
Karina will turn to the group and say, I believe you're good to go now.
Okay. Tintagel is going to move forward in order to very gently and very delicately pick up the body.
Hey, Kim?
Yeah?
If you were a terrible person... Yeah. Kim,
I am a terrible person?
If you were a terrible person... If you were a terrible person, would this be a time to make a kidding roll and get some glamour off this thing because of the just super emotional moment that we just put it through?
I don't think you can use kind of.
Yeah.
She said the damn thing emoted and was all extra awesome. I'm just checking. I'm greedy.
I mean, because it's
I mean,
emotionally. Hmm.
My bad.
No, you go,
Go ahead.
Tim.
Apologize.
Go.
Okay, I was just going to say we could have raptured from it. Well, everyone except Karina. That was it.
Yeah. Y'all can all roll your y'all glamour rolls.
Okay.
Tintagel purposefully won't.
This is a rapture, correct?
Yeah, I won't roll also. I'm good for glamour.
They all begin with R's and they all fucking confuse me. So give me a moment to go look up what each freaking R means. 'Cause, like, I understand them, but I get them all mixed up. Because they all start with R, because White Wolf hates me.
Either way, I specifically can't make the roll.
Yeah, because you've got your house.
Yeah.
House Ascend can't rapture.
Yeah, that's their new flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Because they
What was their old flaw?
despise their human skin. And even if they're comfortable with it, there's still a disconnect.
What was their old flaw?
Oh, +3 diff to all social roles with commoners because you treat them like slaves.
It's pretty bad.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
It was not good.
it was brutal.
Okay.
I'm greedy. I'm sorry.
Okay. What exactly are we rolling for?
Rapture.
Apparently- yeah, we're seeing if people can rapture from the very emotional moment that just occurred.
Ooh.
I automatically
normally-
won't do it because reasons.
Right. What do you normally roll for rapture?
It's usually an attribute.
It's usually musing and all that, rapturing, whatever, is manipulation plus the appropriate ability.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it would probably be expression or performance. Let me get my sheet. Manipulation is 3. With performance, it's the higher dice pool.
Kim, I know it's a little late. I don't know if anybody rolled it yet, but can I roll like a gray mare roll to see?
Didn't do anything for me. It's not a botch, thankfully. Just a fail.
Because we're all inhuman bastards.
Yep. Sure from that.
What was your question, Marcus?
I mean, I don't know if anybody's rolled a gray mare roll or / kitting roll to kin this thing, but is this thing basically like the oldest living chimera ever?
They're probably Chimera older, but it is definitely one of the oldest that you've seen. You're actually, well, you're not really a Dougal, and you don't.
Yo.
Well, I mean, you already know this thing is pretty good craftsmanship, so you kind of understand why it's still running. You if you want to do the role Karina did earlier, which I think was like perk survival to see how badly looking the corpse was to get a guess at how long it's been here.
No, that's not my go. Don't worry about it. Sorry, it was a weird question. I'm sorry.
Tim, because I asked the question and you said I didn't know the answer. As I pick up the corpse, can I make a perk kenning roll in order to see if there's anything on the corpse that might resonate to more specifically, more powerful, more dreaming-y.
Hashtag more loot.
You gotta loot all the dead bodies. Okay, y'all.
I'm not,
demon
but I am picking it up, which is why I said I'd ask.
You can roll it. That's fun. It was a joke. Throwback to the last mage scene where everyone was just kind of like, "I'm gonna loot the corpse,"
Oh my!
as I
sweet
was
zombie
trying to
kid.
raise the corpse.
Yep. That was made of special hyper mega fun times. And
They
then
were
people
about
apparently
to-
thought I was joking when I said you can roll Dex Brawl. I was legitimately serious.
Oh
I mean,
no,
they
knew
were
you
fighting
was-
over the thing, so. And it was just over like a knife and a pistol. Like, damn.
Two
Yeah, no,
successes on. Sorry, 2 successes on the per Kenning roll. But yeah, no. To be fair, both of the knives had premium in them, but that was about it. And they were just like, "Ooh, shiny!" And then whatchamacallem, then the Sam proceeded to destroy the big shiny that people could have gotten at the end of the game. So c'est la vie.
I thought that was.
Huh? It was like that time when. Do you remember that time when Nafandi opened up a portal to the Nether Realm in that 5-dot laboratory that Maeve could have had?
Still for ways. It was a 5-dot laboratory. You know, like a -3. But anyway, so you make me tear it up out here. So you got 2 successes. There's the only thing on this body that has any kind of resonance of glamour is a small teardrop necklace.
Obviously, Tintagil's not going to rip it off now and go, ah.
You can do it later, though, when you're not in front of the spider.
No. But he is going to very delicately carry the body, pressed against his chest. He's going to even leave the circlet on her head for the time being. He's going to ask Karina, though, as they walk, can you ask us why it took the circlet?
Is why did you take the circlet too complex?
You can put, why did you take the circle?
Okay, that was going to be my alternative. Yeah, she'll just kind of tap. Why did you take the circle?
The house cat sized spider will, because it shrunk, will now tap out. Sarissa liked pretty things. I wanted to get her something pretty. She deserves it for being my friend.
Sarissa liked pretty things. The spider wished to give her something pretty, because that is what she deserves.
As he carries the body, because knowing the spider can understand, Tintagil says, where I lay your friend to rest, you have my word, it will be beautiful enough for her that she would be happy to lie there.
It just kind of taps out, okay.
I guess we're heading back up to the castle.
Yes. So, as you guys are heading back up there, you'll see it again. Clearly, it's doing its best to hide, but at the same time, you can tell it's not very good at hiding. And, the purple eyes will just kind of look at you guys as you go through. And then when it notices that you guys have noticed, it'll duck away again. And, it doesn't make any outward movements. It seems curious, if anything. And so when you walk out into the clearing, it stays behind. And this time, it doesn't look away. And all you can really see through the bushes is its purple eyes. And yeah, you guys make it out to Forest. more or less intact.
I'm going to assume that at this point the trolls have basically swept out my castle of random drunk people.
There's like this one dude still on the ceiling that they just can't get.
He's going to say if he's not out of there in an hour, break out the rifles.
You can hear like the
He's not going to say that.
You can hear the voice of God just kind of overcoming and like a giant, comm system just saying, "Why do you have so many guns in Ireland?" And then you just hear as it cuts off.
The answer to why I have so many guns in Ireland is blacksmithing, motherfucker. It's actually really easy to make a gun if you understand how to make a gun. But no, you know what? He'll leave the guy lying. He'll leave the guy out there. Just like, eh. He's going to offer. He's okay. When we get back to the castle, he's going to say to the others if they'd like to come down with him, and he's going to take them down a side staircase that leads down into the castle. They're going to close and lock the doors to kind of keep the night out. And he's going to say, because it's getting very late and whatever else, he's going to say that you're all welcome to stay the night here and go home tomorrow. But he's going to lead you down into a really beautiful. This place looks like it was built with absolute tender, loving care, in the sense that whereas everywhere else in the castle is drab and dark, and it feels like a sad old person lives there. I'm not going to lie.
Tragic backstory, TM.
Tragic backstory, TM. By the way, does Toshi still have his booze?
His what?
Booze, alcohol.
Both the booze and the backpack. He's not gonna leave merchandise there. Hell no.
Fucking love Toshi. But he's gonna basically he takes you into the chapel of the castle, and there are 3 stained glass windows through which light streams. Each one showing a she. The 2 on each side showing a she kneeling in prayer, and the one in the center which shows the sun and the moon together in the same orbiting one another. And there is an altar, and there are a number of pews. He's going to very delicately lay the body of the fallen Dougal down on the altar table. And off to one side, you guys will notice there is a beautifully. This is probably the greatest piece of artifice that this character has ever created. So, when I say it, he put his soul into it, he really did. You see a coffin lid that has a lifelike replica of once again, another she who appears to be sleeping with their hands crossed across their stomach. That has the name. One moment, dude. By the way, when she married, do they take each other's names or do they not?
I think the very firm answer is it depends, but up to Ken. Because that actually means a lot for me and Lindsay too.
It's honestly, it's up to the she. Really, because I kind of like to picture it like in Cirque du Freak, where the vampires would marry, but they'd have like a set amount of time that they would marry, and it was just kind of like, yeah, we together and stuff. But I mean, when this time is over, that's kind of it. Because I mean, we're gonna live long and party, kind of like Spock, live long and prosper. But instead of prospering, we just gonna party the shit up. So it really just depends on the she in question if they want to or not.
Okay, in that case, it has written on it, Baroness Alcindra Brightwater. Long and eternal will she be missed. So if you poke around his chapel, you'll see that, and he'll look down. Once again, there's moonlight streaming through the stained glass windows in the place. is genuinely very, very, very beautiful. And he'll look down at the spider and he'll say, I will build a tomb for your friends, and I will lay them to rest here. Is this beautiful enough for them?
It will tap out, yes.
He will say, yes, he has been shirtless this whole time. He will say, do you wish to stay and guard your friend here? You don't need to leave if you don't wish to.
It gives you that look of like it didn't ever think of the possibility of not staying by her side. So when you just kind of offered up the whole you don't have to, it was just kind of like, that's some blasphemous shit right there you talking, mate.
He'll nod understandingly, and he'll say, very well then. He'll reach down. Will the spider let him pat it or pet it?
Nope.
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 Okay. He will then, seeing that it won't, he'll take his hand away, and he'll say, you may consider this your home then.
It will tap out. My home is wherever Sarissa is. She is my heart.
And as it was, mine broke ever so slightly.
Right as he says that, Ravenna and Karina just happen to make eye contact right at that moment. But they don't understand what's up, though.
It's almost like that heart necklace is there for a reason.
He will ask, you know what, he'll ask the spider, he'll take the necklace, he's not going to take it off, but he'll kind of hold it in his hand, and he'll say, do you know what this is? The teardrop.
It will tap out. Yes.
What is it?
It will tap out. My heart and soul that I gave to her. She was my best friend. She is. And always will be.
There was that horrible moment when the Dougal knew if he tore the necklace off and put it round his own neck, she would say that about him, but then he would be a monster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would happen if I, from a crafter's perspective, I could design this. I once again, what would happen if I broke the necklace?
It would die.
See, it's basically its control stone.
It is its heart. It would die of a broken heart. As if it already isn't dying of a broken heart because its owner is dead.
God damn it.
Kim, would it be kinder? Oh, this raises a moral quandary. If I wore it, it would love me, wouldn't it? The same way it now loves Sarissa.
It would not love you as completely as it did her because it created. She created him.
Karina has a weirder option. Reinstall the teardrop into the robot to give it its own choices.
Could I do that, Kim?
You have a feeling it would fight you tooth and claw because it okay. Throwback to the Inheritance series, shout out, I hated the way it ended the last book. But anyway, like, you know, when the dragon just kind of gave you the dragon stone and shit, its heart and its soul, you don't just give that back. It stays with the dragon rider. So you
So you're
have a
saying-
feeling it would be like hella pissed if you tried to do that, and then it would like vehemently try to keep it with Sarissa.
Okay, so
Because
Vanessa,
I'm now faced with the moral quandary, or we all are actually, because because it's dying of a broken heart because its owner is dead and will always be dead. Is it kinder to make it love someone else so they could at least feel like they have a purpose again? As opposed to a slow death of constant heartbreak?
Karina would say, we can't choose what the spider dies for. He has to make the choice on his own. And he's made it.
Kill them
Ravenna will
both.
nod and agree with Karina on that.
As you guys are just okay, Tintagel, did you set the body down? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay, it's like when you lay down and your cat graces you with actually like laying on your stomach, that's what the spider's doing. It's just kind of laying on Sarissa right now. Looks like it's kind of curled up, not really sleeping, but it doesn't want to move.
I'm not okay. Okay, fuck my life.
You're welcome.
Hate you so much, Kim. I hate
You're
you so
welcome.
much. I
Bitch,
I
y'all
need to do
were
more of
all
this.
expecting like sex with the satyrs and shit because it's changeling at night, and I was like, lol, no, I'm just gonna rip out your heart. At least I'm ripping out mine like low key. But anyway, go on.
The Chimera is too pristine and beautiful and valuable to destroy from my character's perspective, and he is a Dougal whose heart is literally made of glass. And he knows that it will have a better existence if it serves another master. He doesn't necessarily want it to be him. Because, you know what, he's going to turn and he's going to say, would any of you take the burden?
So, like, what's the burden?
It's heart.
Okay, so what happens if you wear the heart?
It will love you.
Okay, what happens if you break the heart?
It will die.
Okay, can I see the heart?
Are you going to break it?
Yeah.
Then no.
I
Okay.
will be on.
Are you going to break it? Yes. Then no.
I will be honest with you, Your Excellency. If you give me that necklace, I will simply put it back upon Sarissa. He has made the choice to die for this, and I am not comfortable with telling others what they value and what they should sacrifice their lives for.
It got built and enslaved to love someone else and didn't know any better. Things never been free. Like, ever.
Actually, it did tell you guys that it willingly gave its heart to Sarissa. I'll
did.
just kind of throw that
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, but it was programmed to do. Come on, like, it didn't know any better.
Actually, no, it wasn't.
Like, it had like two options. And it was
Oh,
like,
it's a-
I can
Dungeon Chimera.
do this.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Marcus. Yes, if you want to build a chimera and have it love you, you can do that. You can put that into it when you build it. But it is also possible that the chimera fell in love and wanted or loved its friend, and decided. Him.
That me.
I paid the lemon.
Hang on, I have to actually check my arts. Give me a second.
Sexy moral choices. I'm your conscience.
Marcus, I swear to God, I will find you.
I need a better conscience. Mine just throwing rule books at me.
Tastes like candy and so much glamour.
Tim, he's going to unleash something.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
The last time I unleashed, I made Kim sad.
You just make me sad in general whenever you
That
roll
sounds-
an art.
Why?
That sounds nasty. That sounds nasty. You unleashed all over Kim. It made her feel bad.
It's so sticky though. Like, why would anyone like that? I don't understand.
Don't make me answer you. Don't make me answer you. 'Cause I will.
I'm sorry. It's just like one of those things that I will never understand.
Wait, no, I know exactly what to do. Haha.
Would fucking leave his heart there.
No. Something better than that.
I think he's going renegade. He's going renegade for life.
It's fine,
See it all over.
renegade.
It's gonna happen. Unleash, unleash, unleash.
God damn it, guys, shut up! Let me fucking think!
Done.
I'm going to unleash Soothsay, and my request is going to be that the spider can find happiness again.
Ooh.
Basically, my intention is going to be that this Esh, when they rechrystalise into the world, will one day find their spider.
It could be simpler. You could just find the one that's been chrysalis now and send it to her.
I could. You know what? That's what he will do. Except that will not involve him unleashing. But yes, he will. Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Toshi, you exist. We need to get drunk. Provide booze immediately.
Hands over the bottles.
Excellent. Just caps it, knocks it back. Probably knocks back half a bottle of what is it?
It is. The bottles are like that doesn't have labels on them.
Oh dear.
When you down it, it's the best damn sake you ever had in your life.
Well,
Give me that Jamaican John Crobati.
Jesus Christ, this has been like a 4-hour scene. Does anyone else really want to do anything, or am I good to push the ND button?
The D&D button.
Kim,
I
you
work at like 10 o'clock, so it's like 3, so like pushing a button is fine.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness Dublin where Kim tears out your heart, spits on it, and then crushes it under a stiletto.